Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. We do oscilloscope stuff too. But we do beer stuff here, and I'm very excited for today's beer. Braupakt from Weihenstephan. This is the one they've done. St. Bernardus. Burps. Last Braupakt I had was their collab with Sierra Nevada. I loved the crap out of that beer. And I saw that this launched, and me being a fan of St. Bernardus, I had to get it. But, you know, I'm never quite sure if and when these are going to land. Haven't really seen anybody kind of in my area or anything like that be ripping on these. So I was kind of like, forgot it existed. And lo and behold, today it pops up on my radar. I pick it up. Here we go. What do we have here? It's Weihenstephan with St. Bernardus Watu. This is their blonde ale. It's a collaboration of the two breweries that has, what's the ABV on this sucker? I think I actually looked it up. It's got to be on here. There's no way that Weihenstephan did not put it on here. So 11 full ounces, 6.5% alcohol by volume, and that's pretty much it. No story time on here. Just calling out the breweries and information and stuff like that. Done and done. I've always dug this label. You know, it's just it's the it's a collab. It reeks. There's a word. It reeks of collab in a very good way. So let's just throw that bottle cap wherever we want and dive into it. So you're talking about a 6.5% blonde ale. Weihenstephan and St. Bernardus. Where does that blonde ale come from? Is it a purely Austrian, German? I forget where Weihenstephan is. It'll tell me on the back here. Germany. Okay. At first I was like, oh, South Carolina, but that's where it's imported. Or is it going to lean more Belgian from the St. Bernardus thing? Or, as per a wonderful collaboration and just very appropriate, will be a bit of both, which is kind of where the Sierra Nevada one landed. Guess what? That's a blonde ale. Hyper clarity on this sucker. That thing is clear as clear could be. 2 fingers, nice, soft, pilly, satin-like head on it, and just, man, ever so soft carbonation on this hyper crystal clear kind of blonde ale. Looks almost like lager-like. That's how clear that sucker is. Even with Belgian Goldens, you can a lot of times have a bit of haze to it, but this is just hyper crystal clear stuff. So, yeah, it's good news. Okay, banana. You know, immediately, you know, you go to your wheat beers when you think about Weihenstephan or stuff like that. But you also get banana phenolics from, like, Belgian beers. So it's one of those things that's like, where's that coming from? But that's the thing that first jumps out to me. This kind of nice banana phenolic. Sweet maltiness. Banana. Maybe even a slight little light peppery note to it. Something along those lines. Done and done. Sweet. Smells sweet. Smells like it's going to be sweet. It's a better way to approach that. And then you have that kind of banana thing kind of floating in and out. It could be more of a bubblegummy thing on the taste, but for me, it's more of like a soft banana kind of vibe. Like I said, malt, soft banana, done and done. Let's just dive in. Cheers, y'all. Ooh, that's weird. Okay, I get this really weird off flavor right on the first sip. Not good. That quick second sip, I didn't really get it. That was weird. Yeah, this is a weird beer. It's a weird beer. I don't hate it. Especially because that weird kind of off flavor, it was more of like it was diacetyl, but more like a sweetened cream corny. So like a banana cream corn kind of thing going on. You know, banana can be on purpose. Banana can be a yeast phenol. It could also be a stressed off flavor thing. I think it's on purpose here. But when you add that little bit of pop of DMS at the beginning that really isn't there after the subsequent sip, it kind of makes you go like double negative a little bit, so it immediately makes my mind lean into a kind of, I don't know if I dig this beer, but once you get past that initial sip and that initial knock, it's not really there anymore, and you're just letting that banana do its thing in combination with a pretty sturdy bitterness here, which I did not expect for this beer. You know, talking about a Belgian blonde, you're talking about Weihenstephan, you're talking about St. Bernardus. Bittering is the last thing that comes to mind. But it is it's a weird beer. It's a mashup. It's a mashup of Belgian and German kind of blonde ales. It's almost like has a wheat beer kind of vibe to it in a certain sense. It has a Belgian, almost like Tripoli kind of vibe to it in a certain sense. But it's definitely not one or the other. It's definitely a collaboration. Let's put it that way. I feel like both hands are in the cookie jar here when it comes to what's being made. And it comes out with a pretty unique beer. I'm not going to sit here and say I love this beer. Not as much as the last one I had. I love both breweries. I love what they do. I think they do what they do really well. This one's a little bit just kind of herky-jerky for me. That initial pop of that kind of dacetyl thing in combination with the banana, like I said, kind of setting your mind up for a kind of negative thing. And while the beer's not negative, it's too sweet, I think. I think because you get a decent amount of banana on this, that sweet just gets amplified as more sweetness because you take that banana taste and the combination of the actual sweetness that is there kind of makes you think it's like overtly banana. What that does is tempers a bit of the good parts of the beer, the malt base of the beer, a bit of bittering in there that is sturdy, but I think it would be a little bit more showy if you dial back that sweetness a little bit. So I'm cool with it. I got a 6er of it. They will be enjoyed. I'll share these with some friends. I'll drink another couple on my own accord, just kind of form like a long-form thought process on it. But I was expecting something different. Now, expectations are just, what is it? Put wish in one hand and poop in the other, which one gets filled up faster, and that's what expectations are. Expectations are wishes. And with collaborations like this, much like this here in Nevada one, I was kind of expecting something with that, but I got something completely different than what I expected, but in a very beautiful way. I was kind of expecting something with this, but I got something completely different, and this time it wasn't a home run for me. Definitely not a negative beer. I can see some people really digging on this, see some people saying, not so much for me. So it's kind of a middle-of-the-road beer, I think. At least, judgy. That's the best way I could put it. As far as what people think about it, I'm really curious. I'm going to go online and see what people think about it now. I didn't want to do that before I went and recorded this video, just so I can form my own opinions. And I'm really curious to see what people think about this. See what people on Tap, see what other beer reviewers online have thought about this, and see if their thoughts match up to mine, or if there's something where they're gushing over it or anything like that. But for me, it's a weird kind of middle-of-the-road beer between something German and something Belgian, as opposed to some kind of cool amalgamation, some kind of Frankenstein monstery that's all negative connotation stuff, but something beautiful. Like the previous one I had, where it brought the best of both breweries together. To me, it's indecisive, probably would be the best way I put it. This beer almost feels like it's not sure what it wants to be. It want to be a little bit of this, want to be a little bit of that, whereas that Sierra Nevada one to me is like, no, I know what I am. I am part of this, and here I am, and we work beautiful together. This one lacks that cohesion for me. So yeah, one last sip and we'll wrap it up. Yeah, this falls a little flat for me. Not a negative beer by any stretch. I'm not angry about the 6er. On the grand scheme of things, I expected something a little bit more electric. It's a blonde ale, 6.5%. How electric you gonna get? But there you go. Is it one of the better blonde ales I've had as late? It's fine. It's not even close to Mount Rushmore status for me, but I'm fine with it. I'm not angry at the $12 or $13 I spent on a 6er. Value availability. I mean, it is Weihenstephan, so you should be able to find it in most places. It's now in the States. It seems pretty widespread, so if you want it, go try it and leave it with it. If you like, well, we like this. If you like Belgian blonde ales and you like German, I would say just a German half, man, and you want to blend them, pour them, mix them together. I think that's kind of where you're getting here, rather than something that's created on its own accord. If you dig those things, you'll dig this. So there you go. A little herky-jerky review in the books, but this beer has me a little herky-jerky, so there. Weihenstephan or St. Bernardus, have you been to the breweries? Have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? What's your favorite across all those? I'm trying to think. Weihenstephan, probably Corbinian. And then St. Bernardus for me is probably app 12. Probably. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of collaborative goodness. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.